I think those two are in.
These are deck beams number 8 through 11, 1 1/8 by 1.5 inch Douglas fir. Okay. Deck beam at frame number 29, 1 inch Doug fir for Traveler. You gotta look sometime. And the deck beam at frame 29, these are standard deck beams. Okay? But basically what I'm after here is our next step is to fasten the shear clamp into the boat. How can we fasten that shear clamp into the boat and not be putting fastenings in way of where these beams are going to be checked? I think we ought to go in the middle of the blocking. Every other block that George and Walter fit yesterday will fasten these shear clamps.
Are we trying to get the shear clamp fastened surface to surface with these frames? So do we need to grind down this blocking a little bit where it projects proud of the frame?
We don't need to. Let's have a look. Ideally, yes. That's a lot of work. What little that is there, we're gonna butter up. If we've got some that are obviously a high spot, we'll just shave them off with a block plane. But let's get them in there and have a look. Some of them may be racked a little bit, and if the blocks are racked, we'll certainly take off a high spot. But if the shear clamps are laying in there pretty nice and fair, are we going to fair down a whole inside fairing surface? I don't think so. I did notice there, from that 1/8 inch back till we can't fair off anymore, and that will create a nice fair curve here. This is all hidden and all structural. On this side, we ran out. That's some Western Red Cedar blocking right there, and that's just fine. But these are a little heavy.
This is the kind of thing I was
to here.
When they grind those.
These are a little heavy to here, so we certainly could take a block plane and kind of shave these down. It's going to be hard here. I would shave as close as you can and as close as you can, and then kind of fair through that with a standing block and some coarse paper. Okay. When we go to put the shear clamp into the boat, we're going to use these deck beams that we have to set that shear clamp. And when we start to fair the shear,
so we're going to want to leave that a little bit proud, aren't we?
We're going to want to leave that a little bit proud. So as we put the shear clamp in here, what we're going to do is, this is all still proud, still a little bit proud of our line. Some places it's not, but we're going to fair that up. So as we go to set the shear clamps, we're going to have 3 guys on that side and 3 guys on this side just to get the clamps in there. Okay? To get them bent, maybe clean up, sand up any nubs, open up these pockets, sand down or plane down any of these high blocks here. We're going to get the clamps into the boat. Okay? And then as we fasten them, we're going to be fastening them both sides at the same time, going down with this camber board, and you're going to say, with everyone down on the shear, you're going to pull that clamp up until it hits here and fasten it. Okay? So then that will be at the point of this. That angle doesn't seem like much, but it is enough to compensate for. We didn't really talk about that yesterday when we were putting these blocks in, and as much as I spoke to it a little bit, I said, man, these blocks really want to be at least flush, if not up a little bit. It seems like some of those slid a little bit. The shear clamp is the important piece here. Okay, we're gonna fair the shear clamp and the top of our hull skin and frames to a nice fair shear line once we get our shear clamp fastened in there. But the key here is to make sure that that shear clamp is up and we're fastening those shear clamps in the same way every other center of the bed.